Hey guys, my name is Katrina and I live in Norway. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use chat within ChatGPT. Now, this video is really slow, simple, easygoing. I'm using my computer, I'm sharing my computer screen with you, and I will show you step by step how you can chat in different modes. So, if you are a beginner, you've not really used ChatGPT before, you want to learn more, this is a video you can watch. And when you've seen it, I think you should be able to use ChatGPT quite well. Now, please, it would be super nice if you could just subscribe to our channel and just like this video. It helps a lot. But anyway, please follow along and learn about chatting in ChatGPT.
Okay, everybody. In this video, I want to show you a little bit more about how you can use the chat in ChatGPT. I'm going to show you this area. This is where we go in and where we chat with the system. And I'm going to show you a few simple tips and tricks. Now, first of all, in this example, logged in with my ChatGPT account. Here up in the corner, you see I can click and here I am logged in and I am using a free version of ChatGPT. Now it's possible to get a plus version. I could click here and I could do the upgrade, but I am in this example using the free version of ChatGPT. Now, if you wonder how to set up a free version of ChatGPT, have a look at some of my earlier videos where I show you how to set up a free version of ChatGPT. Now, in this example, I'm also going to make sure that I have this sidebar open here on the left. It's actually possible to close this one. So here you will see it's possible to just click here and open and close, but I want it open so that I can see my different chats popping up here on the left-hand side. And what I've done at the moment, I've just clicked on the new chat and this brings me into this area where I'm going to actually have a new chat. Now, it does actually say ask anything. So of course I could just go ahead here and ask anything. I could, for example, say, what can I ask you? Let's see what it says. And I'm just going to click on the arrow here and we're just going to see what it says. Now, this is like a general question. You can ask almost anything and we will see it actually replies. You can ask me almost anything. And here's a quick overview of what I can help with, broken down into categories. Now, I'm not going to read everything here, but just for the sake of it, it says you can ask everyday questions, like, for example, what's a good recipe for a summer dinner? You can get help with creative and fun stuff. For example, write a short story or a poem. It can help you with travel and culture. It can help you with learning and education. It can help you give advice and coaching. It can give you help with tech help and coding, planning and organization, and so on and so on. So, just so you know, you can basically ask about anything. Now, what people are talking a lot about is something they call a prompt. Now, a prompt is basically just whatever you ask is kind of what sets up the answer you're going to get back. So, the more clear your question is, the more clear the answer back will be. So it's kind of always smart to give it the most details you can, because if you give it more details, it will also give you better answers. Okay? So, for example, I'm going to pretend that I want to learn more about ChatGPT, but I wanted to just list it up really, really simple. So I'm going to say, list up some examples how to use ChatGPT. Give me 10 simple points. Okay, let's see what it says. Now, what I've actually done here, I've actually told it to give me 10 simple points. And this is what it will do. So here we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 simple points. So, for example, if you wanted to give you 5 different bullet points, or if you wanted to list this up as a beginner's guide or an advanced guide or all these different things, you have to be really, really specific. Now, I'm not going to go into the prompting part so much. What I want to show you today is basically a little bit more about how to use these different tools within the ChatGPT system. Now, just for the sake of it, I'm going to make a new chat. So I'm clicking here on the left and I'm going to make a new chat. Now, you will always see your old chats, they will pop up here on the left. So if I actually wanted to go back to one of my old chats, I could just click here and go back to one of my old chats. So it says what to ask me. This is the last one I just made. If I click here, it will go back and I could continue the conversation here. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click here on my new chat. And let's have a look at the different tools. Now, of course, you can just type in anything here. So basically, just type in what's on your mind, whatever it is, and see what happens. Okay? And if you're a bit unsure, just ask what is the best way to ask you things. I mean, it will give you a lot of help if you are wondering about these things. But let's have a look at this little plus. Now, down here on the left, you will see a little plus. So if you click on that one, I'm going to do that, it will give you the option to add photos and files, or it will even give you the possibility to connect to different apps. Now, these apps would be Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, or Microsoft OneDrive for work and school. This one is if you have a personal Microsoft 365 account or a OneDrive, and the latter one, the one in the bottom, would be if you have a work and school one. This one will also include SharePoint. You can also connect with your Google Drive. So if you have like a Google Drive, you could just click here. It will open up a new window, and this one comes up in Norwegian now. I'm just going to swap over to English. The reason is I'm in Norway at the moment and I am actually Norwegian. So basically, my computer is set up to come up in Norwegian. Anyway, this gives me the option. I can then choose my Gmail account and I could connect. And it would give me access to all my files and all my folders within my Google account. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back here on the left, and I'm going to just go back to ChatGPT. But now, in this example, I am going to click on the plus, and I am going to add photos and files from my computer. So I'm going to click here. I have already prepared a few files on my computer. So I'm going into the folder where I have prepared these files. And just to show you, I have a PDF file here. I have a few Word documents. I have a PowerPoint, and then I have a few photos. Now, ChatGPT is super cool when it comes to analyzing stuff. So instead of me going in and analyzing documents, I could get help. And also, it's really good at analyzing photos. So I'll show you an example. Here I have a photo showing some domino effects. I'm just going to click on this and I'm going to open this one. And what it will do, it will actually open the photo here. And now we can go and ask. And I'm actually going to say, what is happening here? And then we'll just ask. Now you see it now kind of uploads the whole photo. It's now working. And let's see what it says. It says, in the image, we see a row of falling dominoes that has been interrupted by a hand. The hand is placed vertically, stopping the chain reaction of the dominoes from continuing to fall. And it actually even gives me some description what this represents. It could be a person physically stopping the domino effect, it could be symbolic, metaphorical, and so on. And it actually even says, let me know if you'd like to use this image for a presentation or message. It's a strong visual metaphor. Now, I could go on and say, yeah, please make a presentation, a layout for a presentation regarding this or something like that. But at the moment, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show you that ChatGPT is super cool when it comes to analyzing stuff. Now, I'm just going to leave this domino as a separate chat, and I'll go over on the left and I'm going to make a new chat. Now, usually you will always see your older chats popping up here. If you can't see them straight away, just be sure to refresh. There's usually like a small refresh button within your browser, and this can help. And then you will see the domino effect intervention popping up here. Sometimes doesn't refresh itself automatically straight away. Now let's go ahead and do the same. So I'm going to click here, add photos and files, and I am going to open this picture. It's a picture from a fridge. So there's some food and stuff within the fridge. So I'm just going to open this one. Now, let's pretend this is your fridge. So you can actually take a photo of your fridge, or maybe you have a kitchen cupboard or something with lots of food inside. And then you can say, what can I make for dinner using this? Now, this is interesting because it will actually analyze the photo, it will see what is on the photo, and let's go ahead and see if it can help us. So it's opening up this one. It will see all the different vegetables and fruits and whatever stuff is inside the fridge. And here we can see that it actually gives me some suggestions to what I can make. And here we actually get ingredients popping up, and it gives me instructions how to do this, and so on and so on. So the thing is, if you have something in your cupboard, maybe you want help to make a recipe, or just maybe even you just want help to understand what is this. So the conclusion here is it's very, very good at analyzing photos. Now, here we see it pops up in the chat. I'm going to make a new chat. So let's go ahead. And now I'm going to show you a few different other tools. Now, what you will see here at the moment is I cannot upload anything else. See this little plus suddenly disappeared. And it says, upgrade to ChatGPT Plus to attach more files, or try again tomorrow at 10:19 a.m. This means I actually have to wait about 24 hours because now it's 10:19 a.m. for me. So I would actually have to wait for another 24 hours before I can keep on uploading more files. So I will come back and wait until tomorrow, and then I will show you the upload of more files. But please remember, I am using the free version of ChatGPT, and that has limitations. This is really, really important to understand, okay? So here I would advise you, if you really, really want to use ChatGPT in full, please go ahead, click here, get the plus version, and pay for this one and expand your productivity by getting more access. But I'm just showing in this video the free version. So a bit later, I will come back to this one where I'm going to also upload some files. Okay. In this example, I'm going to show you how you can use ChatGPT to analyze documents. So I'm back to my chat and I'm going to click here on add photos and files, and I am going to get them from my computer. So I'm just going to click here, add photos and files, and it brings me to the folder I want to pick these ones up from. Now, I have 3 documents here. I have this one, how to use ChatGPT. I have this is a PDF file, I have a PowerPoint, and I have a Word document. Now, before I go into any of these, I'm just going to show you the Word document. And the Word document is a document, it has 3 pages, and it gives me a little bit understanding about ChatGPT, a beginner's guide. Now, this document, I'll actually share it with you guys. So below the video, you'll find a link and I'll add the documents there so you can download them and read all these things by yourself. But the thing is, sometimes you have documents and you want to analyze them. So this is what it looks like. It's not so big, I could actually read it manually, but of course, with ChatGPT, we can get some help. So I'm going to go into ChatGPT. I'm going to click here, add photos and files. And for this purpose, I'm going to upload the Word document. Here we go. And it's now uploading itself. And I'm just going to say, please summarize. And then let's go ahead. Now, ChatGPT is super quick to analyze text and also pictures and so on. But what it actually does, it goes into this document and it summarizes very quickly everything that is written within the document. Now, of course, what we could do, we could also ask it to summarize differently. For example, summarize in 10 bullet points. Let's go ahead and see what it does. And it goes into the document, and now it kind of gives me more specific information. So if you say summarize in 10 bullet points or summarize like this and this, it will actually do that. But the point is that it is really, really good at summarizing documents. So I'm going to go on and summarize a little bit more. And this time I'll show you a PowerPoint deck. So here we have a PowerPoint. I'll just open it so you can see it. So we have different slides. This also understanding ChatGPT, an easy guide for beginners. It gives me different slides. I can, of course, go through this and have a look at it all by myself. But what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to ask ChatGPT to tell me a little bit more about this PowerPoint. So I'm going back here. I'll click on the plus. I'm going to add photos and files. And let's just click on the PowerPoint. And it will upload the PowerPoint. And I could just say something simple like, what is this about? Something like that. And let's go ahead and see what it tells me. Now, it's already read the document really, really quickly, much quicker than we as people can do. And it gives me a introduction to whatever is covered in the topics, key topics here, and it tells me what this all is about. Now, of course, I could just go on and ask it to give me more summarizes or give me information in some sort of different setup. So if I say, give me summary in 5 points, it will also go ahead and do that. Now, whatever you ask here, you can ask whatever you like, but this is now based on the document that I uploaded. We also have a PDF file. It's this one, how to use ChatGPT Chat, a beginner's guide. And this is a PDF file. It gives kind of instructions on how you are going to use the chat, like I'm showing you now. I'll share this document also with you, but let's just ask. I'm going to click here and we're going to add from photos and files, and we'll just click on the PDF one. And all I am going to ask this time is just summarize. And that's it. I can't even be bothered to do anything else. And it will read the document and it will summarize. So, depend on what you ask here, the more specific you are, the more specific it will actually give you its results. But please be aware you can go ahead and you can upload different types of files. Now you will see again the plus is disappeared. So basically in the free version, you are limited to approximately 3 file uploads per day. If you are uploading photos, you might even be limited to maybe 2, but it depends, 2 or 3 within the free version. So if you want to upgrade, please go ahead and upgrade. And within the upgrade, you will see that you can upload even more. But we will show that in another video. Now, we have this one called tools. By opening this one, it is possible to do different things. We could create an image, we can search the web, we can write our code, we can run a deep research, or we can think for longer. What does this mean? Well, of course, it is possible to create an image. So let's just click on this one. Now it says you want to make an image, please describe your image. And I'm going to do it simple. A dog that is black and white with long furry hair and a red ribbon around its neck. Now, of course, the more you describe, the better it will be. And I'm going to say, let it stand in a field full of flowers in Norway. So I'm actually giving it a few hints. So I'm actually telling the system to make a dog. It's supposed to be black and white, and it's supposed to have long furry hair, and it has to have a red ribbon around its neck. Now I'm also telling it something more. I want it to be in a field full of flowers, but please remember, a field full of flowers could be anywhere in the world. So they would all look different, wouldn't they? Depending on which country they are in or which place they are in. But I'm saying I want to have it in Norway. I'm also going to say add a few mountains and fjords. Now, you can also tell it to give you a specific style. So, for example, if I said make it as an oil painting or make it as a pencil drawing or something, it would actually be able to do that also. But in this event, I'm just going to leave that and I want ChatGPT to kind of choose it for me. So let's go ahead. Now, it will now be working. Please again, do keep in mind I am still working in the free version of ChatGPT. This will have limitations. Usually, I will just be able to maybe make 1 or 2 or maybe 3 images per day. But if you just need 1 or 2 or 3 images per day, perfect. You can still go ahead and use the free version. Also, if there's really many people going into the system at the same time, when everybody wakes up in the morning, it will be more busy. That will also give you some more limitations. It will take longer for your picture and image to finish, and so on and so on. So, usually, you might even have to wait a minute or 2 before your picture is ready. So, we're just going to wait until it is ready. Now, I have been waiting for a minute or 2 here just for the system to finish my image. And here we see the result. We have a dog with long furry hair black and white with a red ribbon, and it's actually placed in a field of flowers, and it's supposed to then be in Norway, ask for a fjord and some mountains and so on. Now, what it's going to do, normally it will give you flowers maybe for that specific region. Many of these flowers, we will have similar ones in Norway, but maybe sometimes they're not actually totally true, because please remember, this one is not real, it's just generated from a artificial intelligence by ChatGPT. Now, once you get a photo, you could click on it, it will open up. You can also here, if you want to describe that you want to add or remove or replace something, we could also do that. But at the moment, I'm not going to do that, but it's possible to do different things. I could, for example, say, please make the ribbon around the neck pink or something. I could also go up here and I could share it. I can click on share. If I click on share, Furry Friend by Norwegian Fjords, I could copy the link. I could send it to somebody I know. I can also go up here. I could save it. If I click on the save button, it will actually be downloaded to my computer. Let's just go ahead and do that. And when you're finished, you can also just click on this little cross on the left and it will go back here. Now, it actually comes up here. It says hund i norsk landskap. This is actually in Norwegian, but actually it says dog in Norwegian landscape. So you could, of course, click here, rename, and I'm just going to call it dog in Norway. I do like to have practical names on my chats because it makes it easier for me to come back here later on. Now, I'm just going to make a new chat and I'm just going to describe the other tools available. So I'm going to click here on the tools, and here we can also search the web. Now, I'm going to show you the difference between turning this one on and not turning it on. So I could, for example, say, give me 5 tips about the fjords in Norway. Let's go ahead and see if it can give me some tips about the fjords in Norway. Now, what it will do, it will actually list up, I told it 5 tips. It says take a fjord cruise, travel by train, go hiking, visit the shoulder season, in the shoulder season, pack for all weather, and so on and so on. Now, you see there's actually no sort of links, anything to click on here, but sometimes I would actually rather get some more information related to different things. So I'm going to ask, which fjords should I visit in Norway? And I'm going to open the tools and I'm going to click on this one, search the web. Now, what's going to happen here, you will see like a blue globe popping up. This means I've now turned on the search mode. This means it will go on the internet and it will find information. So let's go ahead and see what goes on. Now, see, it ends up like this, searching the web. So this is a little bit what you might be used to using Google. Usually we always go to Google to search, but hey, we don't really need to do that anymore. We can just go to ChatGPT and it will help us go and find this information. And what it also will do, it will actually even pop up with a few links. So, for example, if I click on this one, you see it will actually bring me to visit Norway, and here it will give me the page where I can read more about visiting the fjords in Norway. Now I'll go back here. Also, in the end, when I come down here, you will also see it actually adds something called sources. And if I click on this one, it will open a window on the right hand side and it will give you all the links you need to read more about these things I've been asking about. So again, it's similar to what you might be used to from Google search. However, it actually pops up here within the ChatGPT system. Now, this is important to remember if you really don't need these links and you don't need it to search on the internet. Just remember within the tools, just turn it off again. Okay? Because then it will not give you the links. So it depends on what kind of question and what kind of result you're looking for. Now, let's go once more. I'm just going to go and make a new chat. I'm going to the tools, and this one here is write or code. So let's go and just open this one. Now, this one will open what we call a canvas. A canvas is sort of a document style canvas where we can make it write something, and we can also add our different text that you have yourself or make changes very easily instead of having a conversation. So I'm just going to say, write a short fairy tale about Norway. And let's go ahead. Now, what it will do now, it will actually open this writing within a canvas. And a canvas is kind of a closed sort of document area, just like working in Word or something like that. And it will give me the option to actually go in and change whatever is here. And here you can see I can actually write things. And it goes ahead once upon a time. And I'm going to go, for example, in the top here, and I'm going to just write a fairy tale from Norway. So this means I can personally kind of update whatever is here. Now, I could, of course, just click here on top. I could share it with somebody. So if I want to share it with a friend or a colleague or whatever, I could just create a link and send this. I can also download it. So if I click here on download, I can even download it as a PDF file, a Microsoft Word document, or some other type of markup document. So I could just click here. Let's just download it as a PDF file. Let's just put it here on my computer. And voila, very, very easily, this has been now changed into a PDF file. If I open it up, you will see it's now turned into a document in PDF, which I could save and print and do whatever I like with on my computer. Okay? Now, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT again, and I'm going to close this window. So I'm going to click on the little cross here, which will bring us back to the normal area where I have been working with my chats. And I'm going to make a new chat here on the left. Within the tools, I can also open this one. And here we have something called Run Deep Research. Now, on my computer, it says I have 5 left. See here, there's a little black box on the right saying 5 left, more available on August the 1st. Now, if I want to run a deep research, this is kind of a bit more heavy stuff. This means it takes time for it to analyze, and it does also do research on the internet. So if you want something that's more like, some report that's economically important, or maybe it has something to do with the law, or it's really important that all the information is very correct, it's recommended to do a deep research. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask it to do a deep research. I'm going to turn this one on. You see it now comes up with research, and I am going to ask it something about Norway. And I am going to say, please make a report about the economy in Norway. And I'm going to say, add historical perspective. Now, this is something that is a bit difficult to make a report on because it's sort of lots of things involved when it comes to the economy in Norway. I'm also going to say also a little bit about the future. Okay. Now, normally, if I just didn't do this research, it would very quickly give me some information. But once I turn this one on, it will use more time. So I'm going to click here on the right hand side and it will now go ahead. It will also try to clear a bit more about what I want. So it says, for example, what level of detail are you looking for? Should the report focus on specific sectors? What time frame should the historical perspective cover? Should the future outlook include projections and so on? Do you want the report in English or Norwegian? So I'm going to say make it in English. Include the last 100 years. I want it focus on all the major industries such as oil, fish, technology, and others. And make it easy to read. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, it says, great, I'll put together an easy to read report on Norway's economy covering the last 100 years. It will include historical developments, current status, future outlook, and so on and so on. And actually, it says, I'll let you know once the report is ready. Now, in the background now, it's actually started to work. We can also see that it will tell me when the report is ready. So there comes up like a little blue area here showing it's now working. So it will actually give me a notification when it's ready. So I don't want to sit around here and spend the rest of my day waiting for this. I'm just going to let it give me information when it is ready. How long does it take? Well, it depends on the assignment, usually maybe 10, 15 minutes, but it can even take an hour or two or more, all depending on what you have asked it to do. So, meanwhile, let's just make a new chat and let's open the tools. Now, we also have something called Think for Longer, this one. Now, it's sort of a little bit similar to the other one. This one is working here, but not exactly the same. This one is kind of more, this is not going out onto the web. It's not using all the resources available. It's more just thinking a bit longer, reasoning a bit more, and using the information that is already uploaded within the ChatGPT system. So I'm just going to ask, list up the economy in Norway in the year of 2025. List up the good areas and the bad areas. Something like that. Now, you see, it's kind of doing the same. It's sort of thinking, but it's quicker than the last one. So it's kind of looking into different things, giving me an overview of the economy. It will also basically give me a few links, but this is a more fast way of finding your information. Now, it said it thought for 6 seconds. You might think that is really fast, but to be artificial intelligence, it actually is basically a little bit slower. But the thing is, if you want it to think a little bit more and give you a little bit more reasonable and smart information, you should actually put the reason on here. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to make, we don't have to read about this, but I'm going to make one more new chat here. And Now I have described these different things, and now I'm going to describe these ones in the end. Like this one is the possibility to dictate. This is really cool if you are slow on using your keyboard. You don't really have to use your keyboard, but you will need to have a microphone. So I'm going to turn this one on. And what happens, it's actually going to turn on my microphone and I can speak to ChatGPT. But I'm not actually speaking, I'm just dictating. I'm going to click on this one. Now it will ask if I can use the microphone, which I'm going to do. Can you please describe in a few words how to use the dictation feature in ChatGPT? I am now talking to you, and I want you to explain, very simple for beginners, what the dictation function is. Now, I just clicked on this one to end my dictation, and what you will see in the background, everything I just said into my microphone is now written here. Now, I'm just going to click here, and this will be kind of the same as you typing stuff into the chat box, but you don't really need to type. All you need to do is actually speak. And it says the dictation feature in ChatGPT lets you talk instead of type. Here's how to use it. Very simple. Click the microphone icon. Speak clearly into your device's microphone. Your words will appear as text on the screen. Press enter or click the send button to send your message. So, super simple. If you don't want to sit on your keyboard, just turn on the dictation. I'm going to make a new chat. Finally, in this lesson, I am going to use the voice mode. Here on my right hand side, I have something called voice mode. This gives me the opportunity to actually speak with ChatGPT, just like I am speaking with a friend. So let's go ahead and try. Now it comes up like this, and I get a few buttons here. Here is the possibility to turn on my microphone, and let us speak. Hello, ChatGPT. How are you today?
Hello, I'm doing great. Thank you. How about you? What can I do for you today?
Well, at the moment, I am trying to explain how this works when I actually sit here and speak with you. Can you please tell the people listening what you are and how this works?
Of course. Hello, everyone. I'm ChatGPT, an AI developed by OpenAI. I can understand and respond to spoken or typed questions. When you talk to me, I process your words and provide helpful answers or information. It's like having a conversation with a really knowledgeable friend who's always here to help.
That is so nice of you to explain this. Can you also tell a little bit about your voice?
Absolutely. My voice is designed to be clear and friendly, making our conversation as natural as possible. It's generated using text to speech technology, which converts the text responses I generate into spoken words. The goal is to make our interaction feel smooth and engaging, so you can easily understand and enjoy our chats.
Thank you so much. That is all for now. Goodbye.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Now, I'm just clicking on the cross to end this. And in the background, you will see that everything that we have been speaking about together is actually typed in as text in the background. So whenever you actually want to have a friendly voice speaking with you, you would, of course, need some speakers to be able to hear the sound of the voice. You would also need a microphone to be able to speak to ChatGPT. But whenever this is happening, this is something you can do just by going down here. Now, finally, here on the top, it says completed economic history and something is ready. And here on the left, we will see Norway economy report. When I click on this one, it has now been working in the background. And if we go up and have a look, it's actually pretty long. Here it comes. And here we have the economy of Norway for the past 100 years. And we will see we have lots of links, references where it has found its information. And I can, of course, read it here directly on my computer. I could also share it with people. I could make a copy, or I could even, if I just go up here, I could also click here. This is the share button, and I could download it as a PDF, or I could even click on the share link and copy this and send it to a friend or colleague. Now, if I want to download it, let's go ahead and just do that. It will download it to my computer. I'm just going to download it here. And if I now open it up, I have now got a report. Here we are. From ChatGPT, here on top, we would get a logo and so on. And very quickly, I have some information I might be able to use when I'm maybe then talking about Norway and the economy. And finally, in the end, you will see it also makes references with footnotes here in the end, and it shows me where it has found its information. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and close this one. And let's just go back to the new chat area here. You will now see everything I've been doing today is now listed up here in my chats. If I want to make a new chat, I can just click here on top. And within the chat, these tools you can click on and use in different variations. So hopefully this was a clear instruction to how to chat within ChatGPT. Remember, this is the free version, so you might have a few limitations compared in the plus version. But the plus version, I will also show you in future videos. And to get one, you would have to click here, get the plus, and they have different plans you can choose. And I would maybe then recommend the plus one, but I'll show you that in a future video. Thank you for following along. Please subscribe to our channel. It really helps a lot. Like the video, that also helps a lot. And please come back in the future to learn more about ChatGPT and also other digital tools. Have a beautiful day and goodbye.